Hey, I'm not going to say Shema again. All right, keep it down. Class is started. All right, what's going on, Canada? Y'all Bashim Yashai Barakatham to all the brothers. And Y'all Shemalatham Bashim Yashai to all the sisters. Today is the memorial of blowing the trumpets. All right, it's our feast day for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the prayers. Men of Israel, and Akim and Akwathium, Imadium, which means stand. All right, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. We're going to continue on with some other prayers. Men of Israel and Akwathium, Sarpan Yaha Kwadam, which means turn and face the east in the Hebrew. The east is faced this way and here. All right, we're going to start off with the Lord's Prayer. All right, everybody repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwathka, Thaba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Hawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawabath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Kabayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hoshayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Habalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahathapara, Laiwalamium,
Aman. What we just said in the English, our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
And we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil. But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever so be it.
Forever so be it. Hey, Salakia Barak, do you hear a delay on my side?
No, I just hear the kids repeating after me.
Okay, Khan, no sweat. Yeah, we'll keep going. No sweat, no sweat. All right, let's grab the Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al Haharim, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Barataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Lana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah Yakaka, Wayarak, Allah Yalah,
Balayallah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rai,
Makal Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Kazaafka,
Kazaat,
Wabawaka,
Yabawahaka,
Ma'aitha,
Ma'aita,
Wa'aid,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer
He
thy
will not
foot to be
suffer thy
moved.
foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in,
from this time forth
from this time forth
and forevermore.
and even forevermore. Hakah, the power. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem Yahushai, Abakushah, the Thun Lanawa, Hakah, Hakah, Marpa'ah, Kal Makalah,
Call Makalah,
Wakal Madawa,
we'll call Matawa,
Hakah,
Akak,
Latahar,
Lataham,
Hamatazarayim,
Hamatazarayim,
Hakah,
Akak,
Lahakwayam,
Lahakoyam,
Hamathayam,
Hamatyam,
Hakah,
Akak,
Al Rakawa,
Alakawa,
Hatama'ala,
Atamaala,
Lagarashan,
Lagarashan,
Rasham, Yahushai,
Yawashan,
Kawada Aman.
Wadaman. In the English, what we just read, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
please give us the power
Please give us the power
to heal
to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahushai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Blessings prayer. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa ma Yaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Alawap Yahanna.
Alawap Yahanna,
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapiam,
Ha Saranya.
Ha Saranya,
Hakwatazai Salaki. Hakwatazayanya.
Hakwata Yanyam,
Hakaya Yalyam.
Hakaya Yalyam,
Wa Hakwathian.
Wa Ha Aquatian,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Shai,
Aman.
Wa Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahweh,
And Yahushai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angel,
And the angels.
commanding General Yohanan,
Commanding General Yahanna.
the general,
The generals.
the captain,
The captains.
the officer,
The officers.
the trooper,
The troopers.
and the
And the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of
Now
Yahweh
in the name of Yahushai.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All Men of Israel, and Aquathing watching. Sar, which means turn, you may be seated. Okay, 1 second, bro.
Khan.
All right, Brock, if you could read the Hebrew for me. Okay, again, this is the memorial of blowing the trumpets. All right, your oppressor would have you serving every other god but your own. But if you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, this feast is for you. All right, today, Friday 15th, starting at sundown, we are here to serve our Lord, here to serve our power. All right, and so this is the feast of memorial of blowing the trumpets. All right, this is a Memorial Day. This is a day off. All right, this is a time for brothers and sisters to gather together, like it says in Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. You understand? We got to gather ourselves together, start coming back to our culture, our history, our language. All right, that's what we're doing here in the I.S.U.P.K. So we're going to read in the book of Leviticus chapter 23. All right, as you read through our records, as you read through our history book, in the book of Leviticus chapter 23 is where you will find all of our feast days. You'll find our Sabbath, Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, all right, Feast of First Fruits, Tabernacles, and today, the Memorial of Blowing the Trumpets. All right, so Barak, I'm going to have you read the Hebrew. If you could read Leviticus chapter 23 from verses 1 to verse 7. All right, and then we'll break it down in the English.
If you could just give me 1 second on one, my computer is still loading the
No
Hebrew.
sweat. No sweat. All right. Now, and as we go through this, you're going to see that our culture is a very beautiful culture. All right. Our culture is a very beautiful culture. Hey, there goes one of my brothers right there, Officer Yerad, Yahbashim Yashai Barakatha. What's going on, Ak? All right. It's good to see you, Ak. Good to see you. We definitely planning to see you. I'm glad you're here with us, celebrating the feast with us. All right, that's a very powerful thing, Brother Yerad, very powerful officer, an amazing brother. It's good to see you all tuned in with us. All right. So again, we're going to be in the book of Leviticus chapter 23. All right. And yeah, we can get right into it. All right. Again, if you're tuned in, make sure you hit those sign-in links. All right, we got the sign-in links in the chat. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. So you want to be tuned in with what we're doing.
So like I'm give him 1 more second, Kusha.
Come on, no sweat. All right. And so what this feast again, Memorial of Blowing the Trumpets. What is Memorial of Blowing the Trumpets? Today is just a day of it's just a holy day, all right? It's a Memorial Day, just a day to remember different times in Israel, right? When you think of the trumpets, you want to think of a trumpet being an alarm, right? The trumpet is there to blow the alarm, sound the alarm during wars, right? It's there to let our brothers and sisters know of danger that's coming. Okay, that's what that trumpet is. That shofar that you heard us blow at the beginning of this class, all right, beginning of this Sabbath service. That trumpet's there, right, to warn our people of the danger. All right, let brothers and sisters know of the danger that's coming and the danger that's already here. We've been letting you know since 1969. You understand, of the danger that is here and the danger that is coming. That's why we're telling you, you got to change your life. You got to repent. You got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And you got to gather yourselves together as a nation. Right? Stop celebrating Christmas, Halloween, and Easter. And start celebrating your holy days. All right? Start celebrating your pastor, your feast of first fruits. All right? Your culture, your history. All right? You got that ready, Barack?
Khan.
Khan, let's get into that. So we're in Leviticus 23. Read from verse 1 to verse 7 in the Hebrew.
Karawakana. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1 to 7. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La Amar. So like it. La Amar, Dabar, Al, Banya, Yasharala, Wa Amar, Wa Amarath, Alaham, so like it. Alaham, Ma Wa'aid Yahweh, Ashar, Takwa Ra'awa, Atham, Makwara Ya, Kodash, so like a Kodash, Allah, Allah, Ham, Mawa'idya, Shashat, Yam, Ta'aisha, Malaka, Wabayawam, Hashabaya Aya, Shabbat one, Makwa Ra'a, Kodash, Kal, Malaaka, La'a, Ta'aishawa, Shabbat, Hawa'a, La Yahweh, Bakal, Mawashar, Tayakam, Allah, Allah, Mawa'idya, Yahweh, Makwara'aya, Kwadash, Ashar, Takwara Atham, Bama, Salakia, Bamawa'idam, Bakadash, Hara'ashwan, Ba'ai, so Ba'ai, Aishar, Lakadash, Bayan, Ha'ira, Bayam, Pasak, so like a Pasak, La Yahweh, Wabakama Shah, Aishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hazaha, Kaga, Hamatzawat, La Yahweh, Shabbat, Yam, Matazawat, Ta'akalawa, Baya
wa bayawam. Salakia. Hara Shawan, Haya Ashawan. Makwara, Kwadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Kala, Salakia, Kala, Malaakat, Ibad, Ibada, La'a, Aishawa. It's like that was the end of verse 7 out of 1. So like when you're on mute.
Kanak, I got you. That's the water for that. Now let's grab the English. All right, Salakia for tonight. Barak, I'm gonna have you doing a lot of reading for a little bit. All right. So we're in the book of Leviticus, right? That powerful priest, Officer Brachiali, just read from verses 1 to verse 7. All right. Another reason that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you guys got to get in this class. All right. Get in this class, learn your Hebrew. All right. Come back to your culture. So Brachiali just read verses 1 through 7. Salaki, 1 second. Go. All right. Yeah, Brock Keller just broke down verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. All right, now we're going to break this down in the English. All right, so if you could, Brock Keller, Leviticus 23 and verse 1.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. Then the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
Under who?
Then the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
The Lord spake unto Moses. This is the Most High speaking unto Moses. Understand? Moses is a man, right? The scriptures say, loosely paraphrasing, the pasture of my flock are men. Understand? You're going to find that all throughout the Bible. The Most High is always speaking to a man to give the message to the children of Israel. Right? Read.
Karawakan, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say to them.
Right. Speak unto the children of Israel. This Bible is not for everybody. This Bible is written to the nation of Israel. Right? From front to back, when you read through this Bible, you're always going to see one nation of people being spoken about. And if you do see other nations spoken about, it's the context of Israel going to war with them. It's the context of Israel defeating them in war. It's the context of other nations oppressing us, right? Or trying to destroy and devour us. But this book is always to the children of Israel. Keep reading.
Concerning the feasts of the Lord.
God, this is concerning the feasts of the Lord. Understand? Not just one feast, but multiple feasts. Why? Because when we read through Leviticus 23, you're going to read about all the different feasts of the Lord. Right? In this chapter is where it tells you what feasts we are supposed to be keeping, what high holy days we're supposed to be keeping. Salaki, what's that, bro? Come on. You understand? These are the feasts of the Lord. This is where we learn about our feasts. Keep reading.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
Right. A holy convocation. What is a holy convocation? A holy is something that is separate. Holy is something that is set apart. Right? Different from everything else. Right? This is a holy convocation. Convocation being a gathering. Right? This is a set apart gathering. right? Different from every other gathering that is on this earth. Keep reading.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done.
Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Keep reading.
And holy convocation.
Keep going. Finish up the verse.
Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
Okay. Right. So this is letting you know when the Sabbath is. Right. It's a day of rest. Right. It's a day made for. Right. It says a day made for you. You understand? That day is made for you to rest. Right. That's what the Sabbath is. You understand? It's a day of rest. Sabbath meaning rest. It's a day that all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to keep every Saturday. You understand? If you're a priest and prophet in the Lord, what that looks like for you, that's a day of work. And that's a day that you serve the Lord. Christ said, "Isn't it good to do good on the Sabbath?" Right? So you're a disciple of Christ. You're a priest and prophet of the Lord. Right? That's a day that you go out and serve the Most High. That's why you see men in the I.S.U.P.K on the streets every Saturday. Right? Slakin. YAHANNA, what's going on outside here?
Shabbat. What's going on, Akim?
Not much. Just breaking down these scriptures.
Yaku
Breaking down these scriptures, right? Enjoying this feast, right? Ooh, we got some amazing food over here. Man, we got some amazing sisters in the. Hey, Most High Christ. That's what's up. That's what this is all about. Hey, Salaki, Officer Adia, can you take over for me for 1 sec?
Where were you at?
Leviticus 23 and verse 3.
Leviticus 23 and verse 3. So, let me just get there.
Salaki.
All right. Leviticus 23 verse 3, right? Okay, come. All right, keep on going where you were at, Officer Barakella.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 4. These are my feasts of the Salakia. These are the feasts of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Karawakan, even holy convocations, which ye shall.
Wait there. So what we're about to read right now, is the Mosai holidays. You understand? Like, you see this earth, right? We have what? We have Christmas. We have Halloween. We have what else? Yeah, we have what else holidays we have? Easter, Thanksgiving. You understand? We have even it's not a holiday really, but it's a feast. We have the one with the Lupercalia. You understand? February. Valentine's Day. We have all these type of feast days, you understand, in this empire. Where do they come from? You understand? They come from, you understand, Roman and Greeks and Babylonian, you understand, worship, or even, you understand, philosophy, if I may say correctly. You understand? But what we have as slaves, as people that's been conquered, as people that's been destroyed in America, in South America, in North America, in the Caribbean? What do we have? We have these feasts that we're reading right now. This is our culture. Voodoo is not our culture, man. You understand? What you see out there, nothing is our culture. But what you find is in the Bible is the culture of Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. And we're reading right now part of our culture, which is, you understand, the feast, the holidays of the Most High, man. The holy convocation, man. The only times where you should gather together, you understand, and celebrate those days, man. And some of those days are not about celebration. Just like we're gonna have, you understand, this 25th, this 25th that's coming. It's not about celebration. It's about sacrificing yourself. It's about, you understand, being hungry for 24 hours. But today is the day when we feast. Today is the day when we celebrate. Today is a day when we remember who we are. Today is a day when we remember the sacrifice that we must take to serve the Most High. We are not Christian, man. We are servants of God. Today is a day when you understand you got to repent and change your life. Today is a day when you understand you got to take about everything wrong that you did, now coming in this truth and change your ways. Today is a day where you should make amends and say, brother, I hurt you. I'm sorry, brother. Brother, I forgive you, man. Brother, I did this wrong to you. You understand? This is the day today, man. You understand? And let's move forward. Just like, you know what I'm saying, so like Officer Shawan, I'm not gonna go too far winded, you know what I'm saying, with it. But just like right now, we're seeing what? Levite, Haitians, you know what I'm saying, trying to be in the Dominican Republic. Hey, Officer, you're right in the chat. Shalom, priest Yahbashim Thumb. You understand? Just like we have Haiti right now, you understand, like being kicked out of the Dominican Republic. Now, most people don't understand, you understand, what's going on. But what if I tell you, you understand, this is in Genesis chapter 49, verse 5 to 6 and 7? What if I tell you that? What if I tell you the things that, you understand, the event that's happening in Haiti and Dominican Republic is in the Bible? Meanwhile, we are brothers. We are brothers. But this is the day when you make a man for what you did wrong. This is the day when you realize you got to change your life. This is a day when you realize, you know what? I don't need to do voodoo on the Dominicans. But what I could do is show them love. What I could do is be a brother to every Dominican. Meanwhile, they want to kick us out. You understand? Build a Dominican house. Be there for a Dominican because that's your brother as well. It's not time for to hate one another, but it's, you understand, it's the time to love one another. You understand? And I know the government, the president of the Dominican Republic, you understand, get his, you understand, like his orders from the United States and the UN. Well, show them exactly, you understand, that there's a different order that we get from Christ. There's a different order than we get from the Bible. Show them that. This is the time for it. You understand? This is real diplomacy. This is real love. This is real, you understand, brotherhood. This is real, you understand, I love you, brother. So for God so loved the world, Christ told you, you understand, to love one another. This is the time to love one another. You understand? This is exactly the time to love one another. And the I.S.U.P.K is doing what tonight? Sounding the trumpet for you to love your own brother, man. For you to forgive your own brother, man. And that's what we're doing in the I.S.U.P.K. For you to stop killing one another. Hey, don't get it twisted. I.S.U.P.K, we warriors. You see how we dress. You see Shawan got his crown. You understand? He's coming to rule as well under Christ. He's looking for a rulership right now. Don't get it twisted. But we got to forgive one another. Because if we don't, who will? Who will? You understand? So like Officer Shawan, I'll pass it back to you, all right?
Come for water outside here. Come for water for that. Slaki, where are we at, bro?
So like we're in the middle of the verse 4.
Come, go ahead.
And we'll turn to the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 4, in the middle, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Seasons just meaning, right, there's different times of the year when we have these feast days. You understand? You got, right, we got winter, autumn, fall, summer, right? Winter, these are just different seasons. You understand? And the Most High is just saying that there's a different time to keep these high holy days, these holy days. You understand? These different feast days. Keep reading.
Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
The Lord's what?
The Lord's Passover.
No, Easter.
It's the Lord's Passover.
The Lord's Passover. You understand? This is a feast day of the Lord's Passover. Right? You're gonna find that word Easter right, which is poorly translated, right? There's maybe 3 or 4 different times you're gonna find in the King James Bible where, you know what I mean, maybe there's a better word that could have been used, right? So in the New Testament, you might see that word Easter, right? But what is Easter in the Bible? Easter is the Lord's Passover. Understand? That's the feast that Christ, Yahweh in the Hebrew kept. He was keeping this feast right here, the Lord's Passover. All right, keep reading.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
Right. Keep going.
7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
Right. So right after the Lord's Passover, right, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand? We got a whole week, right, of eating good food, partying, drinking, right, enjoying the brotherhood, enjoying the sisterhood, right? These are the Lord's feast days. The Lord's feast days are a beautiful thing. You understand? The Most High said, take a week off. You understand? Take a week off. Take 8 days off. You know what I mean? To gather together with your nation.
So like if I might add to that, right?
Done.
So like for everybody that say that following the Bible is boring,
Right.
here it comes. You have 8 days where you could, you understand, party, barbecue, have fun, make music, you understand, like dance and whatnot, you understand, do whatever you got to do with your people. But here's 8 days, you understand, 8 days of straight party. You telling me that's not fun? Since when the oppressor give you 8 days of party, you understand, in his holidays? Since when? When did the Most High give you 8 days of his holidays just there for you to just party? Nowhere. Salakia, please.
God. Salakia. Sorry, we just setting up a little over here. Salakia, bro, keep reading.
Verse
Or
7.
Salakia, read that again. Read that last part again.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
Come on, 7 days ye shall eat unleavened bread, right? Just like Officer Adiyar was breaking down. You understand? These feasts in the Bible are not boring. You understand? These feasts in the Bible are a beautiful thing. Keep reading.
Kalawakan. Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. Again, that holy convocation, ye shall gather together, right? A holy gathering, a set apart gathering, right? And ye shall do no servile work there, right? Meaning take the day off. Come. Salakia, 1 second. Right. You shall do no servile work therein. All right. So we got that. Let's go back to the Hebrew. All right, Brock, if you could get that Hebrew for me.
So verse 8 till what verse, by the way? Salakia, one. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8. Wahakwa ra batam ashar la Yahweh shabaita yam bayawam hashaba yaaya makwara'a kwadash la kala ma la'a kat ibada la'a ta'ai shawa. Verse 9. Wayada bar Yahweh al Masha la amar. Verse 10. Dabar, Al, Banya, Yasharala, Wa Amar Rat, Alaham, Kaya, Taba'a Wa, Al, Hara, Haratza, so like it, Haratza, Ashar, Anya, Lathan, Lakam, Wakwatizar, Tham, Atha, Kwataza, Yara, Wahaba'at Tham, Atha, Aymar, Ra'ashayat, Kwatazaya, Rakam, Al, Hakahan. It's 11. Wahanna, Atha, Haimar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Laratiza Nakam, Mamakarat, Hashabath, Yanayapan, sorry, Yanayapanawa, Hakahan. It's 12. Wa Aisha ya Tham, Bayawam, Hanaya Pakam, Atha, Ha'aimar, Kabash, Tamayam, Ban, Shanatawa, Laha, Layahawa, was 13. Wama na Katawa, Shanya, so like it. Aisha Ra na Yam, Salat, Balawala, Balawalaha, Bashaman, Asha, Layahawa, Rayaka, Nayakak, Wanasaka, Yayan, Rabba Ya'ait, Hahayan, it's 14. Walakam, Wakwalaya, Rakaramal, La'a, Ta'akalawa, Aid, Aitazam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Aid, Haba ya Akam, Atha, Kwaraban, Halahai Yakam, Kakwat, Iwalam, Ladara, Salakia, Ladaratha Yakam, Bakal, Mashabatha Yakam. That was the end of verse 14 out of 1.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Barakatham, Yahweh, Shema, Latham, Hashem, Yahshua, to all the sisters, to all the priests for standing in for my absence. Baraki Allah. I'm going to have Officer Shariwan read the English for us. Right, Adiyar, you're Tawab, you can stand down for reading the English. I'm going to have Officer Adiyar read it for Salakia. Officer Baraki Allah. Officer Shariwan read it for us, and then we'll give you the breakdown. Baraki Allah, where did you stop? You stopped at 14? Okay, so you can read no sweat. You can read Leviticus 23, 7 to 14.
Okay. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 7. Slakia, verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the 7th day is an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Keep reading.
Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
Keep going.
Verse 11.
Oh, come stop. You can stop right there, right? So what Officer Shariwan was reading, right? I believe verse 9, we were verse 8 and 9 was talking about the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? That's during the Passover, when after the Passover night, right, the initial night, we start to go into the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and that's another 7 days of just gathering with your people and not working, right? Not going through this slavery. And what a slavery it is in Canada that we live in, right? If you go on the internet, you'll see jokes about, listen, Baraki Allah, he keeps tagging me in these jokes about the rent in Toronto and how it's $5,000 for a bathroom. Right? And that's the slavery we're in, where you got to work. You got to work 10 days a week, 32 hours a day just to survive here in Canada, right? And that should let you know what the slavery we're going through right now. So these high holy days are from the Most High to give us a break from the slavery, sort of like COVID was, right? COVID gave Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans a break from slavery, where you could spend time with your family, right? And then after the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we go into the first fruits, right? Which is the first fruits of our harvest, of the things that we would get. We would be in the land, we'd be growing food, right? We'd give those first fruits to the priests and prophets of the Most High. Shariwan, you can keep reading.
Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it.
Right. So you would take your first fruits and go give it to the priest, right? This is for the priest. You don't worry what the heck they're doing with it. Don't worry about it. It's not of none of your concern, right? This is for the priest, and it's to feed them, right? We would give it to them. They would take it and wave it in front of the Lord, right? It's giving your best, right? It's about sacrifice. It's about doing what the Lord told you to do, right? You're giving the first of what you have to the Lord. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 12. And he shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf, and he lamb without blemish of the first year, for a burnt offering unto the Lord. Verse 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour, mingled with oil.
Right, read.
An offering made by fire unto the Lord, for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine.
Right. So hold up, I'll get you to finish. So this is the offering that you would give the Lord, right? And with this offering, you're going to season your food, right? This is something you're not going to hear your oppressors or the heathens that are round about you say, talking about how they season the food. And we know that the sisters, right, or just Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in general cook the best, right? It's in our law to have good food. There was if you watched the breakdown podcast last Friday, Priest and Officer of 50, Kayadwan, was giving a breakdown of Hamite food and how Hamite food is disgusting. People that travel the world, they taste the Hamite food and say it's disgusting, right? They don't have a, it's not in their constitution to season the food and make it taste good, right? In the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Constitution, this book right here, it's in our Constitution, it's in our law to season the food and make it taste well, right? Keep reading.
Come. The fourth part of an hymn. Verse 14.
And hold up the fourth part of the hymn. Read that part again.
The fourth part of an hymn.
Just one up before it.
And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine.
And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine. This is a cut. This is an uppercut, a haymaker, a light jab, right? To you Christians, right? This light jab might feel like a haymaker or an uppercut to you from the Most High, because Christians like to act like we're not allowed to drink, right? While they're doing every other sin known to man, right? They'll tell you you can't drink while they're eating pork. Right. They'll tell you you can't drink while they're committing adultery in the church. They'll tell you you can't drink while they abuse the children in their church, right? In our law, in our Constitution, in our history book, we're allowed to drink, right? With moderation, of course. It's in our high holy days. Keep reading.
Come. The fourth part of an hymn. Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings.
That's another cut to you Christians who say the law is done away with or that's old. This says this is a thing that we're going to do forever. Right? Forever. It's not you do it for a time and then it changes and then you just do what you want to do. This is something we would do forever, right? And okay, so what this is talking about in this verse specifically is you got to go do these sacrifices and give to the priest what is the priest. Give to the Lord what's the Lord's before you eat that day, right? Before you do anything else, get up and go give to the Lord what's the Lord's, right? Was that the end of 14? Show you one?
Come.
Right. So now I'm going to have Barak Allah. He's going to read from 15 to 21 in the Hebrew.
Kanawakad. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15 to 21 in the Hebrew. Wasapar. Second. Wasapar Ratham. Lakam. Makarath. Hashabath. Mayawam. Habaya Akam. Atha, Aymar, Hatanawapa, Salakia, Shabai, Shabata Wath, Tamayam, Salakia, Tamayamath, Tahayana, Aid, Mamakarath, Hashabat Ya'ait, Hashabat Ya'aita, Ta Saparawa, Kamasha Yam, Yawam, Wahakwa Batam, Manaka, Kadasha, Layahawa, Salakia, Mama Washa Batha Yakam, Tabaya Awa Lakam Tana Tanawa Pa Shatayam Shanya Aishara Nayam Salah Tahayaya Na Ka Matuza.
So like Barak, you're kind of low. What verse were you at?
17 out of 1. I'm reading the last of 17. I'm about to jump to 18 right now.
Okay. You're just kind of low. Can you just be a little louder?
Karawakan. So like it. Ta'aba Yana Baka wa Ra Yam La Yahawa 18. Wahakwara Ba Tham Isle Halakam Shaba'aita Kabasha Yam Ta Tamayamam Banya Shana Wapara Ban Bakwar Akkad Wa'ayalam Shanayam Shanyam Yahawa Yahayawa Ayla La Yahawa Wamanakatham Wanasakayaham Aisha. Right. So like it. Rayak Nayakak La Yahawa Wa Aisha Ya Tham Sha so like it. Sha'ayar Aizayam Akkad Lakata'ath Washanya Kabasha Yam Banya Shana Lazabak Shalamayam Wahanna Hakahan Atam Al Lakam Habakara Yam Tanawapa Lapanya Yahawa Al Shanya Kabasha Yam Kodash Yahayawa La Yahawa Lakahan 21. Wa Kwara Atam Ba'aitazam Hayawam Hazaha Makwara Kodash Yahaya Lakam Kala Malakat Ibada La'a the Aishawa Kakwath Iwalam Bakal Mawashabatayakam La'ara Tayakam That was the end of 21 out of 1. Salaki out of 1, you're on mute.
Throw out a priest. Shaiwan's going to read from Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 15 to 21 in the English, and we'll break it down.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Verse 16.
Right, so we're going to complete 7 Sabbaths. That's about 49 or 50 days. I could be wrong on the 49. I believe it's 50 days. But Christians in the world will call this Pentecost, right? Keep reading, Shaiwan.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord.
Keep reading.
Verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals, that shall be of fine flour. Hey, Akim, keep it down. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord.
Right, so as we're going into the first fruits, this verse is breaking down, and what this chapter does, it breaks down how we celebrate these holidays, right? Like if you look into the world, they have a whole breakdown starting. Listen, a breakdown for every holiday that's going to start. You're going to see commercials breaking down how you go into the oppressor's holidays, right? With Black culture, as you come into this, you're going to be learning how we celebrate our high holy days, right? And these are of the Lord. So again, that's what this verse is breaking down. It's breaking down how we're going to celebrate it and how the food is supposed to be made, right? So that's what Shaiwan is reading. Keep reading.
Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire, of sweet savor unto the Lord.
Right. So this is damn near a cookout that we're having, right? You got lambs and bullocks, and you got bakes that we're going to make with flour that are going to be seasoned well. Our food's going to be seasoned well, and it's going to smell sweet to the Lord. Like if you ever walk into the house of a Black, Hispanic, or Native American while we're cooking, it smells like something out of this world, right? And listen, I lived in a building with heathens, and I on a Sunday smelled their cooking, and it made me want to throw up, right? When it comes to what the Most High has done for us and he's given us, this is why we're the best cooks on earth. It's in our law to cook like this, right? And to have these cookouts. You wonder why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans like to party, because it's in our law to have these parties and have these gatherings with us, right? There's some of us, we haven't seen each other in a while because of the slavery that we're in, right? And because of the Most High, we're able to come together and have these high holy days. And look, it's on a Friday as well, right? You can only Salagi, I'm gonna leave it like that. It's on a Friday. You don't have to get up and go to work. For most brothers and sisters, we have the Sabbath off, so you don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow, right? We're going to have a high holy day tonight. Party, drink, have a good time, and we're partying well into the night, and not have to worry about, are we gonna have to go and slave tomorrow for some of our brothers and sisters, right? Keep reading, show you one.
Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering.
Right. Now you gotta ask yourself, listen, that's a lot of livestock to come off of in one time, one moment, right? Every household is offering up all this livestock, right? The point of it is to obey, to do what the Most High said, right? This is a time where he's walking us through the wilderness. He just put Egypt to Salakia. I want to say to rest, but Egypt was destroyed as this is coming out. Like we've been walking out of Egypt. We're in the wilderness. We're celebrating these days, and it's telling us what we're going to do when we get into the kingdom, right? Now, what the problem with Christianity is, Christianity has a prosperity doctrine where they go to the Lord and they pray for money. They pray for everything good, right? But never want to do good for the Lord, right? In this, what we just read, you have to come off of Salakia, or was it 1 kid of goats for a sin offering and 2 lambs of the first year? In the verse we read above, there was 1 bullock, 2 rams, right? These are the things that you're supposed to do. The Most High told you to do it, so you just do it, right? It hurts to come off of these things. You got to think about the person who has to raise up these lambs and stuff, and they have to come off of these sacrifices, right? And offer these sacrifices. It might hurt just a little to offer these sacrifices, but you do it because the Lord said to do it, right? It's like most of the things we do it because the Lord said to do it, even if it makes you uncomfortable, right? Because when you're in your uncomfortable times down the road, you're going to be asking the Lord to help you. Now, why must the Lord help you if you didn't even want to come off a lamb for him? You didn't want to come off a young bullock, a young goat, or a young bull for the Lord. Keep reading, Shaywan.
Verse 20, and the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Lord for the priest.
Keep reading.
Verse 21, and ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day, that it may be in holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
Right, so these are statutes that we're going to observe forever. It doesn't just stop because we're in the so-called New Testament. It doesn't just stop because a black man by the name of Yahushua died for us, right? Christians like to say we don't have to do none of these things. No Christian is doing these things right now. Halloween is coming. You're going to see the Christians out in full force. And before Halloween, there's a slaughter and a remembrance of the slaughter of the Native Americans that the Canadian government calls Thanksgiving. And they're going to be fully involved. They're going to be showing up at their churches with these turkeys and ham and whatever else that's unclean that they're bringing into these churches, these unclean buildings, right? But these are the holidays you're supposed to observe if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American. The church is supposed to be observing and when I say the church, I mean Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Are supposed to be observing the Feast of First Fruits. Supposed to be observing the memorial of blowing trumpets. Salakia. With that said, I'm going to get Officer Baraka Allah to read in the Hebrew 22 to 28. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, 22 to 28. Barak, you're on mute.
Like, can you hear me now, Adwan? Okay. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22 to 28 in the Hebrew.
Barak, as you read, Salakia, bro. Salakia, call out the number of the verse that you read, Baba Kasha. All right, Barak is having technical difficulties. I'm going to get Priest and Officer Shayuan to read the Hebrew for me, and then Officer Adiyar, if you could read the English, 22 to 28.
Okay. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wabakwa Tazara Mama Ath Kwatazai Yara Ara Tazah Mama La'a, Thamala, Pa'ath, Shaddam, Bakwa, Tazar, Ma, Wala, Quat, Quatazar, Salakia, Quatazayar, Mala'a, Thalaquat, La'anya, Walagar, Tha'ai Zabah, Atham, Anya, Yahweh, Alahai Yamam, verse 23. Wayadabar, Yahweh, All, Mashah, La'amar, verse 24. Dabar, All, Banya, Yasharala, La'amar, Bakadash, Hashabah, Yahya, Ba'akad, La'kadam, Yahya, Lamam, Shabbath, Wana, Zamar, Select, Zamara, Wana, Thara, Wa'aiha, Makwara, Quadash, verse 25. Mal, Amath, Ibada.
I think this right here is a car. This is a car, and that's the mark.
This was a call.
Yeah, a car.
Okay.
That's the car.
Ibada, La'a, Tha'ishwa, Waha Quara, Batham, Asha, La Yahweh, verse 26. Wa Yadabar, Yahweh, All, Masha, La Amar, verse 27. Akka, Ba'aish, Ba'aishwar, La Kadash, Hasha, Ba'ya'aya, Hazah, Yawam, Hakka, Hakka, Parayam, Hawa'a, Makwara, Quadash, Ya, Lakam, Wa'ain, Wa'ainya, Wa'ainyatham, Ath, Napash, Thayakam, Waha Quara, Batham, Asha, La Yahweh. Verse 28. Wakal, Wakal, Ma La Ma, La'a, Tha'ishwa, Ba'aitazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Kaya, Yawam, Kaparium, Hawa'a, La Kapar, Al Yakam, La Lapanya, Yahweh, Allahayakam. That's the end of verse 28.
Salakia, Officer Artie, are you with us right now?
Yeah, come, priest. I'm right here.
Baba Kashat, can you read 22 to 28 for us, Baba Kashat, in the English?
Come, priest.
Sir.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22 in the English. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest. Neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest, thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God.
Throughout it, sir. Even in our high holy days, in a breakdown of our high holy days, it's about brotherhood and sisterhood. It's about loving your people. This is something we don't see in this kingdom that we're in right now. In the oppressor's kingdom, if you go outside right now and go to any church in your city, whether it's Montreal, Toronto, Brampton, Vancouver, Halifax, or Edmonton, you're going to go to the front of the church and see someone sleeping in front of the church instead of inside the church. The church is empty and warm and has a lot of bed space, right? But they're sleeping in front of the church, right? That doesn't happen in the ISUPK because we follow our King Yahweh Shai and he followed the law of God. That's what we're reading right now, the law of God, right? And what we do when you own the land, you wouldn't reap all the food, right? That's on the vines. You would leave those corners, the borders of your vegetation for the poor. Adia?
Yeah, because so like if I may also like if we realize like in Montreal in Canada per se, like if you realize there's trees like all over the road, right?
Right.
How come none of these trees give fruits?
Right.
You understand? Like these trees supposed to be like for the bisons, the passengers, you understand, people that are passing by, and you understand the poor, they could eat, you understand, so many apples in Canada. You understand? Canada is the land of apples, apples trees everywhere. How come there's no apple trees on the side of the roads? You understand that where the homeless could just grab an apple and just eat, you understand, from that tree? Like
Right. That is a heavy point. You walk down the street and they have these little planter trees everywhere, and they water them and they yield no fruit. And our people starve. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we starve in these cities in the hellish conditions that we're under. Right. When those trees, like Adiyar said, should have some fruit, you should be able to walk down the street and get some fruit
a priest, we
off
can't
these
hear you.
trees. Huh? Right? You should be able to just get some fruit off these trees. And that's what's in our constitution, right? How you could just walk down the street, and if you're down on your luck, you could just get some fruit, right? So like, yeah, Barak, are you to walk?
Oh God, I had an issue with my phone. I don't want.
God, you could continue reading for Officer Adiyar, and we're at Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 23.
23. Want me to read in the Hebrew or English? I don't want.
I want you to read it in the English, and you're gonna stop at 28.
Oh, okay. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation.
Right. So that's what we're in right now. We're in the memorial of blowing trumpets, and that's what we're observing right now, tonight, all throughout the nation of Israel. Every school is observing the memorial of blowing trumpets, right? No Christian church is doing this, right? They're probably having some bingo night or in a strip club, right? You know, in Christians are lustful. They'll be in those strip clubs or outside trying to get with a sister that they're going to leave the very next night, right? But again, this is just another holiday that we celebrate in observance to the Lord and what he's told us to do, and we obey it. It's another day that we get to chill with our family and friends and relax and have a good time, have a cookout, and drink some good strong. Salakia, you can keep reading.
Khan, verse 25. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord.
Keep reading.
Khan, verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
Keep reading.
It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. Now, here is another high holy day. It's a day of atonement where we're going to atone for the sins of Israel, right? For the sins of our nation, right? And on this day, we're going to not eat any food or drink any water from sundown to sundown. 24 hours of pain. That's what we're going to feast on during that time. It's going to be painful. It's going to be something that, listen, as you go through it and you do it more and more often, it's one of those days where it goes by fast, right? If it's your first time, Lord be with you, right? You're going to be thinking that the hours are going by very slowly, right? But again, it's a day that we observe because the Most High told us to do it. And as children, you're obedient to what your father says. So we do it, right? And again, this is to atone for our sins, for the things that our nation did, right? Listen, you might not be sinning, but someone in your nation is sinning. So we're atoning for that sin, right? You got any demons on you or things that afflict you, right? Okay, I'll say it like this, right? For brothers who smoke weed and who do drugs that they're not supposed to be doing, right? That go against our Constitution and what the Lord said. The Day of Atonement is a good way to help you fight your addiction on weed. Because if you can give up food and water for 24 hours, you can give up some damn plant. If you're strong enough to go 24 hours without food and water, not like how the Muslims do it, where they wake up early in the morning and then they eat, and then from sun up to sundown till the sun sets and they're not eating, or they're telling you they're not eating, but they're outside smoking all the cigarettes they can, right? It's not this. For 24 hours, it's not that. This is a 24-hour fast, sundown to sundown, where we're going to fast and we're going to go through pain, and we're going to call our brothers and sisters to help us get through this pain. Because that's one thing this day fosters too. It'll make you call your brother and ask for some strength. It'll make you call your camp leader and ask for some strength. It'll make you call a sister, if you're a sister, and like Salakia says, what are you doing? And just talk to that sister, right? So that's what we're going to do. And then right after, we're going to have a feast. When that sun goes down, you're going to gather with your brothers and sisters and have a feast. And that's what we'll be doing. Sure. We'll be feasting on pain, and then we'll be feasting and drinking all the strong that's in the room. Salakia. Sure. Right. Barak, you can keep reading.
Kawakan, verse 28. Salakia. And offer, not Salakia, verse 28. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
Right. And listen, we're not supposed to work on this day. Some of us, because we have a cruel, very, very cruel slave master, he's going to make you work that day knowing you're fasting. Right. And some of these slave masters, they just want to see if you are actually serious. Is this brother really fasting, or was he just trying to get the day off work? Was this sister really fasting, or was she trying to go party or do something today? Right? And they just want to see you drink that water so they can go in their mind, yeah, we knew he wasn't fasting and this man was a liar. Right? But for us, we're going to fast even if we have to slave that day and then go feast. Right? Now, children don't fast on this day. Right? The elderly, the pregnant, the sick, you're not going to fast, right? You're not going to tell a child you can't drink. I want to see the parent that tells a child they can't drink or eat food for 24 hours and see how that works out. That is going to be a war in itself, right? You're going to have to listen, no child standing up for that. Your child's going to look at you like you're crazy. Like, what are you trying to do? Did you really try to make me not eat food and drink? And how cruel do you have to be to want to make your child go through some the Day of Atonement? I've seen and I've heard Christians say, no, my daughter's going to do it. I said, your daughter's 5 years old. What the hell does she have to atone for? right?
Right.
So, Lakia, that was that the end of the verse?
Another one. To make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
God. That's what we're doing. We're making an atonement on the Day of Atonement, and that's coming up next. Like we got, I believe it's three high holy days this month, right? In the month of September 2023, we have 3 high holy days, right? This is the memorial of blowing trumpets. Then we have the Day of Atonement, where we feast on pain, right? And act like we're not. And this is another thing. When you feast on pain for the Day of Atonement, act like you're all right. Act like nothing is wrong. Don't go around and tell everybody you're fasting. Listen, why are you telling them? Are you trying to, we're not going to make a show of this, right? We're going to get up, brush our teeth, spit out all the water, swallow no water, go about our day and act like nothing is happening.
Right.
Right? All right, Brock, can you read in the Hebrew for us Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 29 to 35?
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29 in the Hebrew. Kaya, Kala, Hanapash, Ashar, La'a, Ta'aina, Ba'ai Tazam. Slack it. Hayawam, Hazaha, Wanakar, Wanakarata, Ma'ai Maya, verse 30. Wakal, Hanapash, Ashar, Ta'aisha, Kala, Mala'aka, Ba'aitizam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Waha'a, Badathaya, Atha, Hanapash, Hahawa'a, Makwarab, Aima, 31. Kala, Mala'aka, La'a, Tha'aishawa, Kakwat, Iwalam, Ladar, Tayakam, Ladara, Tayakam, Bakal, Mashaba, Thayakam, 32. Shabbath, Shabbatha Wana, Hawa'a, Lakam, Wa'ai Nayatham, Atha, Napasha Thayakam, Batasha'ai, Lakadash, Ba'irab, Ma'irab, Aid, Ibar, Tashabatawa, Shabbatakam, 33. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Shema, La'amar, verse 34. Dabar, Al, Banya, Yasharala, La'amar, Bakamasha, Aishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashabaya Aya, Hazaha, Kaga, Hasakawath, Shaba'aitha, Yam, La Yahweh, verse 35. Bayawam, Hara'a Shawan, Makwara'a, Kwadash, Kala, Mala'akath, Ibada, La'a, Shawa. That was the end of 35 out of 1.
So what a priest. Shariwan, can you read 29 to 35 for us in the English?
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in the same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Right. This is something that you want to do, right? Because outside of not doing it, you're going to be cut off from your people, right? And listen, if you are in the kingdom, that means you're not going to come to the next Passover. You're not going to be living in the walls of your city. You're going to be cut off from your people and treated like a heathen. Keep reading.
Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it shall be that doeth any work in the same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
As I said earlier, some of us are going to have to work on this day because we have an evil oppressor over us, right? Don't worry about it. He's going to pay for that sin. You got to go to work, right? But your oppressor is going to pay for that sin. Keep reading.
Verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. Shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings.
Good, man. We got another day off. Listen, the Lord sees how much we work and how we work hard, right? They say our Israelite brothers have 10 jobs. Right? They say the Benjamites come and all they do is work. Right? The Lord sees what we go through in this slavery. And that's why he's giving us these days off. Right? And you got to think about what it was like in the kingdom you're developing a nation, meaning you got to feed yourself. There's no welfare. Right? You got to feed yourself. You got to feed the priests, and the priests are going to take care of the poor and the sick and the poor, the widow, and the fatherless. Right? But we got another day off. Keep reading.
Verse 32. Shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even from even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Right. So again, from sundown to sundown, you're going to fast and then celebrate the Sabbath. Right. And after that, you're going to have a feast. You're going to afflict your soul. And the one who doesn't do it, they're cut off from the nation. You got to get up and go to work that day. You get up and go to work and come back and party with your brothers and sisters. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 33. The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. Verse 35. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
Right. And after the Day of Atonement, you go into Tabernacles. Right. Tabernacles is when we were on it's basically how we're living now. We live in the wilderness now. We left from Egypt to go into our kingdom, walk into our kingdom, and we're in the wilderness right now. Right. That's how we live. Right, our neighborhoods are horrible places to live because of the lack of brotherhood, the lack of sisterhood, and Christianity. Right, because Christianity teaches us that we don't have to keep these holidays. We don't have to do what the Lord says. We don't have to love our brothers and sisters. So your neighborhoods get shot up. There's drugs being sold in your neighborhoods. Right, our children are abused in these neighborhoods because we're living how the Lord didn't want us to live. Salaki, was that it? Okay.
Verse 36. 7 days.
Nah, you were supposed to read the 35. You read 35? Okay. So we're going into Tabernacles after the next High Holy Day, which is the Day of Atonement. I'm going to get Barak and Allah to to read again in the Hebrew from 36 to 42.
God. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 36 in the Hebrew. Shabbat, Yam Yam, Takwara Ya Ba, Salakia, Takwara Ya Bawa, Asha, La Yahawah, Bayawam, Hashema Ya Naya, Makwa Ra'a, Kwadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Wahakwa Ra Wahakwa Ra Batham, Asha, La Yahawah, Itazarat, Hawa, Kala, Mala'akat, Ibada, La'a, the Aishawa, Allah, Allah, Mawaidia, Yahawah, Ashar, Takwara Wa, Atham, Makwara Aya, Kodash, Lahakwa Ra Yaba, Asha, La Yahawah, Ilah, Wamanaka, Zabak, Wanasakayam, Dabar, Yawam, Bayawama Wa, 38. Malabad, Shabbatat, Yahawah, Wamalabad, Matana Watayakam, Wamalabad, Kala, Nadarayakam, Wamalabad, Kala, Nadabata Yakam, Ashar, Tatanawa, La Yahawah, 39. Aka, Bakamasha, Aishar, Salakia, Yawam, Lakadash, Hasha, Bayaya, Baas, Salakia, Baasapakam, Atha, Tabawaata, Ha'aratiza, Takagawa, Ata, Yagam, Yahawah, Shabbat, Yam Yam, Bayawam, Hara'ashawan, Shabbatawan, Wabayawam, Hashamaya Naya, Shabbatawan, verse 40. Walakwa Katham, Lakam, Bayawam, Hara'ashwan, Para'ah, Salakia, Paraya, Aitiza, Hadar, Kapat, Tamarayam, Wa'aina Pa, I.TITHES, I.BATH, Wa'ira Baya, Nakal, Washamaka Thumb, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Shaba'ai, Yam, Holy One.
Barack, you're getting kind of low.
Like that one?
You're kind of low.
Come. Verse 41. Wakaga Thumb, Atawa, Kaga, Layahawa, Shaba'ai, Yam, Bashana, Kokwath, Iwalam, Ladarata Yakam, Bakagat, Hashaba Yaaya, Takagawa, Atawa, verse 42, Basakath, Tashawaba, Tashabawa, Shaba'aith, Yam, Kalak, Hazarak, Bayasharala, Yashabawa, Basakath. That was the end of 42 already.
Come on, throw out a priest. Officer Shaywan, can you read from 36 to 42, Bakasha?
Come. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36 in the English. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. And ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, so for these 7 days, we're going to not be working the land, working our slaveries. We're going to be with our family and serving the Lord, right? And this is what we're going to do for this holy convocation, right? Keep reading.
Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. To offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and a drink offering. Everything upon his day.
Right. So with these holidays, these high holy days that we celebrate, this is better than whatever the oppressor is telling you to celebrate. What the oppressor tells us to celebrate has brothers going to jail. Right. The oppressor wants you to spend a bunch of money on Christmas. Brother has no money, and he has to try to get this money, or he's going to get put out of his house. So his children can get some gifts that they're going to destroy within the first 10 minutes of them unwrapping them. And you've seen it your whole life because you've done it as a child. Your mother would buy you a gift, or your father would buy you a gift and told you some oppressor put it in the house when your mother and father worked hard for that gift, and then you just didn't care about it and you destroyed it, right? That's not what we're doing, right? We're not going to observe those days. We have our own culture, our own set of days that we're going to observe. There was a question that I seen on the internet on an app called Clubhouse, and it was, does Caribbean culture, Salaki, let me remember the question. Does Caribbean culture copy African American culture? And to me, the question was such a stupid question to ask, right? Because when you look at Caribbean culture, you look at African American culture, or what we call Black culture today, it's the oppressor's culture. Right. You are celebrating everything the oppressor tells you to celebrate on the days your oppressor tells you to celebrate them, right? You look at any of the cookout days that the oppressors tell us to celebrate. 4th of July in Chicago is a day of mass murder, right? You just watched the news on the 5th of July, in Chicago, and you're gonna find out all the neighborhoods that got shot up. There's gonna be 60 people shot, 20 dead. In Canada, someone always gets shot on the day that they tell you to celebrate. Carabana just passed, and someone got shot on Carabana, right outside of the Bathurst gate of the CNE grounds. Right? And that's what the oppressor tells you to celebrate. Here, we're not celebrating that stuff. We have our own holidays that we're going to celebrate, and you can find them in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Keep reading.
Verse 40. Ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees,
Right.
branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brooks, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Right. And this is, we know this as tabernacles, right? The Christians will call this Palm Sunday, right? On these days, we're going to gather. If we're in our own kingdom, we'd be making booths that we'd go dwell in for these 7 days, right? There was a time when Salakia, when I'm trying to remember this exact city that Yahushua was walking into, right? And as he walked in, they were bringing leaves of the palm to him, right? Christians take that and they run with it, and they call it Palm Sunday. Some of them will go and say, like Catholic Church will say it's Lent. Well, they'll turn around and say, we're not going to eat meat for this day, right? But on the very next day, they're back to eating the pork, the shrimp, the lobster, the squid, whatever crawls that they can knock over the head with a rock, they're going to eat it. Show you one. Can you keep reading?
Verse 41. Ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
Right. So this is something that we're going to celebrate forever in our generations, not just because a time period has passed. A millennium went by, so we forget about it and we don't do it. Right. That's not what we're doing. The things that we do forever because the Lord said to do it. Show you one. Keep reading.
Verse 42. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Right, and we dwelt in booths as we came out of the kingdom. For 40 years, we walked around the desert and dwelt in booths. Right? Right now, we're outside of our kingdom again. And our homes down there, if you live in the projects, they look like booths. Like, if you've been to any of the Toronto community housings in the city of Toronto, it all looks the same. It looks like just a cardboard box that most of us live in, right? But we're going to dwell in booths when we have our own kingdom. Like we'll have our mansions and our large plots of lands, our vineyards, right? And we're going to dwell in these booths to remember the time when the Most High had to come and save us. We're in that time right now where the Most High has to come and save us, right? And as Israelites, we pray for that day. We pray for the day that this kingdom falls, when we don't have to worry about an oppressor on our neck, because the oppressor, he's standing on our necks right now. They make it extremely hard for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to live, right? There was a story we did not too long ago with a bunch of Benjamites, a group of Jamaican brothers who came up to work in these Canadian farms in southern Ontario. Right? They were picking apples and doing a bunch of farm works, and they had to dwell in booths with the toilets overflowing. The toilets are overflowing in their living area, in their kitchen area, and they complain. And because this oppressor is such an evil bastard, he sent them back home. Right? We're praying for this kingdom to end. Show you one. Read that one more time.
Oh, God. Verse 42. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
And this is specifically for Israelites, right? It's not for Moabites, for Caucasians, for Asians, East Indians, or any heathens. This is specifically for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, so we can remember a time when the Lord had to come and save us, right? With that said, I'm going to have Barak and Allah read the last 2 verses. We're going to break it down. We're going to read it in the Hebrew, break it down in the English, and then we're going to call it close after we say some prayers. Barak, you're on mute.
Khan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 43. Lama Ain. So like Lama Ain. Yada Iwa. Darata Yakam. Kaya. Basakawat. Hawashabat Taya. Ata. Banya. Yasharala. Bahawataza ya. So like Bahawataza ya Awatam. Marataza. Matazariam. Anya. Yahweh, Alahayakam, Wayadabar, Masha, Atha, Ma'aidaya, Yahweh, Al, Banya, Yasharala. That was the end of.
Hey, the water priest. We're going to get Shaywan to read these last 2 verses.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 43 in the English. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths. When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am the Lord your God.
Right. So we do this so we remember the Lord put us in these booths, right? As we dwelt in Egypt, as we walked out of Egypt, we walked around the desert for 40 years. That's 4 decades, right? And we lived in these booths. We didn't build houses with foundational walls and have vineyards and stuff like that. We were on the go. We were on the run. We were moving as a people to get to this land, right? And as we did that, we encountered war. We encountered heathens that didn't like us, right? But the Lord had his dwelling booth, so we're going to celebrate and observe tabernacles so we remember what it's like to be on the run and have call for the Lord so he can watch over us and protect us and guide us, right? Guide us by a pillar of smoke in the night, a pillar of fire in the day, and a pillar of smoke in the night. Salakia. A pillar of smoke in the day and a pillar of fire in the night. That's what we're going to remember about with the dwelling in booths, right? And again, you look at our life right now, it's like we live in the wilderness right now, right? Everything that we do outside of this kingdom it's a horrible way to live in Canada, right? It's cold, it freezes. So like, yeah, a lot of our people are living outside on the streets. You go into Montreal and you go into Montreal by the Atwater Metro, and you have people sleeping under bridges, right? You go into the train station and they sleep in the Metro train station, right? That's what it's like under this oppressor living in the wilderness right now. Because everything out of Jerusalem, outside of the kingdom that the Most High established for us, right, is a wilderness. And it's a horrible way to live because we live like heathens. Keep reading.
Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feasts of the Lord.
Right, and Moses declared these feasts. And this is our feast calendar. If you want to find the feast calendar, right, you could go on any of our social medias. It's posted up, right? And it's a breakdown of these feast days that we just read and that we just that we're observing tonight, So once again, I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, right? We're going to bring a close to the memorial of blowing trumpets, and we're going to say a couple prayers and then bring it close to this live stream. With that said, I Majam, which means to stand. Sa'apanya HaKodam, which means turn and face the east. Face the east that way. Yeah, you can read the Hebrew. Yeah, the Hebrew. Okay, where is it? I'll read the Hebrew. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. I'm going to say it in the English. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak
Wathka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratzakah.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Varataza.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Washamayim.
Washamayim. Dun Lanao. Lakam. Yawam. Wasalakna. Wabatna. Wasalakna. Wabatna. Walaa.
Tabayana. Salakia. Bonasayawan.
Bonasayawan. Abal.
Hawashayna.
Mayan. Right. Kaya.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Wahala. Wahatapara. I.W.L.
Aman.
I'm going to have Barak, Officer Shariwan, read the English.
Come. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven. Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
As we
debtors.
forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
To temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us
Deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
Thine is the
For
kingdom.
thine is the
And
kingdom
the power.
and the power
And the
and
glory.
the glory
Forever so be it.
forever so be it.
To be
Come on.
We're going to read Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahariya.
Ahahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Isari.
Isaiah.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahshua.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'ratazah.
Wa'rataza.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Wa'amawat.
Amawat. Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yahshua.
Yayashan.
Shalomar.
Shalomar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wa'iraq.
Wa'iraq.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Alright.
Kalrai.
Yashmar.
Yashamar.
Asna Pasha.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'ah.
Taza'athka.
Waba. Wa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'aid Iwalam.
Wa'aida Walam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift
I
up
will
my
lift up my eyes
eyes.
unto the
Whence
hills.
cometh my help?
From whence cometh
Whence
my help?
My
cometh
help
my
cometh
help?
from Yahweh,
My help
My help
cometh
cometh
from
from
which
Yahweh,
made
Yahweh.
heaven and earth.
which made heaven
Made
and
heaven
earth.
He
and
will not
earth.
suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not
Not
suffer thy
suffer
foot
thy
to be
foot to
moved.
be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that
He
keepeth
that keepeth thee with thy
Behold,
behold,
he
Behold,
that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that
he that
keepeth
keepeth
Israel shall
Israel
neither
shall
slumber nor
slumber nor
sleep.
sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy
Yahweh
keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is
upon
thy
thy
shade upon
right
thy
The
right
sun shall
hand.
not smite thee by day,
The sun shall
Sun
not
shall
smite
not
thee by
smite thee
day,
by
nor the
day,
moon by night.
nor the
nor
moon
the
by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh
Yahweh
shall
shall
preserve thee from all
preserve
evil.
thee from
Shall
all
preserve
evil.
thy soul.
Shall
Shall
preserve thy
preserve
soul.
thy
Yahweh
soul.
shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve
Yahweh
thy
shall
going
preserve
out
thy
and thy
going
coming
out
in,
and thy coming in,
from this
coming
time
in.
forth,
from this time forth
even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Yeah.
We're going to say the prayer for power. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Basham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Baba Kashah,
Baba Kashah,
the Son
the
Lano,
Thun Lano,
Hakak,
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 Lara Pa'ah,
Lara Pa'ah,
Kal,
Call,
Makala,
Makala,
Kal,
Wakal,
Manawa,
Madawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Latahar,
Latahar,
Hamakazariah,
Hama Tazariah,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahapayam,
Lahakwayam,
Hamathayam,
Hamathayam,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Awakawa,
Arakawa,
Salakia, Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarshan,
Lagarshan,
Basham,
Basham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tuwala Aman,
Wada Aman. What we said in the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of
in
Yahushai,
the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power,
please give us the
power to heal all manner of sickness,
power to heal all men,
all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against the
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. We're going to say, prepare for power structure. Barakatha Yahweh,
Barakatha Yahweh,
Wa Yahushai,
Wa Yahushai,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
Wa Alahaya,
Wa Alahaya,
Matazayabya,
Matis,
Alawap Yahanna,
Alawap Yahanna,
Ha Alawapyam,
Ha Alawapya,
Ha Saranya,
Ha Saranya,
Ha Kwataza Yanya,
Ha Kwatazayanya,
Ha Kaya Yayam,
Ha Kayayalya,
Waha Kwawafya, Salakia, Waha Akwafya,
Waha Akwathi,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Basham,
Basham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tawala Aman.
the Wada Aman. What we said in the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you,
and Yahushai,
and Yahushai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angel,
of the General Yohanan,
commanding general Yahanna,
General,
the
the
generals,
captain,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
name Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
To be
We're going to read Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayah,
Al-Madiyah,
Lakah,
Lakah,
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Thakarash,
Wa'al,
Wa'al,
Tashakwat,
Tashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Wa'ab Yakah,
Wa'abika,
Yahama Yawan,
Yahanna Yawan,
Wama Shana,
Wama Shana,
Yakah,
Yakah,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amakah,
Al-Amakah,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Sawad,
Sawad,
Waya,
Waya,
Thaya Aitazawat,
Thaya Aitazawa,
Al-Tazapa, Salakia, Al-Tazapawan,
Al-Tazapawan,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Akawa,
Akawa,
Wana Ka Yadam,
Naka Yadam,
Magaya,
Magaya,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasharala,
Iwad,
Iwan,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Wa Aitazawa,
Nawa Aitazawa,
La,
La,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yakar,
Al-Yakah,
Arya,
Arya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalia,
Ahalia,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Waya Shemai Alayam,
Waya Shemai Alawan,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagariam,
Wahagari,
Gabal,
Gabar,
Imawa Salakia, Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'amalak,
Wa'amalak,
Palashath,
Halashah,
I'm Yeshabia,
I'm Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawam,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Nahab,
Kamadya,
Kamadia,
Kasa Yasara'a,
Kasa Yasara,
Kiyabyan,
Kiyabya,
Manakal,
Manakal,
Kwayashwan,
Kwayashwa,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Darwa,
Darwa,
Haya,
Haya,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama,
La Adama,
Shayathamwa,
Sheathamwa,
Nadayabmawa,
Nadayamawa,
Kairab,
Kairab,
Wakazaba,
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 Wakazabak,
Waka,
Waka,
Tazamanai,
Tazalmanai,
Ka,
Ka,
Nasayak,
Nasiyak,
Salaki, Nasayakamwa,
Nasiyakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Narasha'a,
Narasha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ah, Athawath,
Athawath,
Alahaya,
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 Shayathamwa,
Shaythama,
Wagaga'a,
Wagalgala,
Kakwash,
Shakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rakad,
Raka,
Ka'ash,
Kaash,
Thaba'ira Ya'ira,
Thaba'ira Ya'ira,
Waka Lahaba,
Wakal Lahaba,
Thahalat,
Thahalat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadatma,
Tharadatma,
Basai Iraka,
Asa Iraka,
Waba,
Waba,
Suwapathka,
Sawapathka,
Thabalam,
Thabalam,
Mala'at,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyam,
Pala'at,
Palawat,
Waya Bakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya Bahawya, Salaki, Waya
Waya,
Bahal,
Bahal,
Wa,
Wa,
Ija'ai,
Idiyai,
Waya Kaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Waya Badwa,
Wayabadwa,
Waya
Waya,
Da'awa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Kaya,
Shamka Yahweh,
Labarka,
Labarka,
Al Yawan,
Al Yawan,
Al Kaharataza,
Al Karataza. What we said in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
keep not thy silence, O God,
Hold not thy peace.
hold not thy
And
peace,
be not still, O God.
and be not still, O
For
God,
lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one
They
consent.
are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against
the
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and
the
Amalek,
Philistines,
the
with the
Philistines,
inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with
They have
them.
hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah.
Salah,
Do unto them as unto the Midianites,
do unto them as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a rep,
and like Zeb.
and like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Zabah,
and as Almunah,
and as Almunah,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a
as
wheel,
the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the
and
wood,
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy
and
tempest,
make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and perish,
that men may know that thou,
that men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth. With that said, I Majam, Salakia Sar, which means turn. We're going to bring it close to the memorial of blowing trumpets. I'm going to hand the class over to Priest and Officer 500 Shariwan. Got it. So, Shariwan, this is it right here. Come. All right, give us a moment. You got it?
All right, let's clap it up for that powerful priest. For the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department and teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We're in the memorial of blowing of trumpets. The following feast is the Day of Atonement, which will be on the 10th day of the 7th month, which is on Sunday, the 24th of September 2023. You can read about it in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 27 to verse 32. Any Akim who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine, which means stand. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahabashim which means hands down. Sar, turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shema Latav Hashem Yashai. Yad Yamatah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.